Yeah, so good evening guys. So today we're looking at refining other blocks, right? Refining other blocks. Okay, so before we go into refining other blocks, there is something I want to say, right? This section will be a very short one because there is nothing too much in refining other blocks, right? Yeah, so this is what I have to say. When looking at other blocks, right, it's actually best to use them full. Yeah, to use them full as how they are, right? To use them full as how they are. Let's say this is your bearish order block, right? It's actually you're using them full, right, as how they are. You're trying to mark them full as how these other blocks are, right? So it's best to use them actually full, right? Refining these other blocks, let's say you're trying to refine it, may result to a missed entry. Price you missed your entry at this point and we sell and you still be waiting. So it's best to use them full, right? Now so let's look at for a quick thing in the chart. Let's look out for quick things in the chart. Structures that have held, right? Okay, so here is one you have here. Now, okay, let me look at this structure from this side. Remember, using our order block checklist, it must be coming from a previous mitigated order block, right? A prior mitigated order block. And this price coming from a former order block, right? This is another block that price reacted from, right? Price gave a change of character. Okay, let me do something. This is Solana. Price give a change of character here, right? Clear liquidity from this low. Price is the same. Okay, this is Bitcoin. Price give a change of character at this point. You could see these 2 points, right? And after this change of character, we have price rallying all the way and then still landed on this same demand zone, right? And when we came to this demand zone, we had a change of character formation, right? From a macro level, from a just that this change of character didn't this was what we have here, like the kind of prints we had here. We didn't have a change of character like this. We didn't have something like this, right? We have something that have already made a move inside. We had something like this. This is the kind of formation we had here, right? Price actually swept this high, right? Price swept this high. This is coming from it. But then price mitigated from this other block before breaking this structure. Price mitigated from this demand zone before breaking this structure, right? And this is your change of character. And as price broke this structure, you could see that price came back after taking out this structure, retesting, and maybe there is a tiny block here, retesting here. So price might have retested from a point here before going up, right? We didn't have a change of character like this. We didn't have a change of character like this. We didn't have a pure change of character like this, right? Yeah, we didn't have something like this. So this is the kind of structure we had there, right? Okay, this thing is actually too big. I need to make it very small. So we didn't have a change of character like this, right? Here is a change of character, and here is a demand zone where price goes from. So we didn't have information like this. We had another fractal structure inside of it. This fractal structure before we check out that high. So from this one now, let's look at the other block there, right? Let's look at the other block. This is the other block. The other block you'll be considering. This other block, right? This other block is the other block you are considering. Now let me check 5 minutes time frame. See that inside that big order block in 5 minutes time frame, we have a smaller one, right? I mean, a smaller one you can actually reduce to. And you see the price starts inside that smaller one, right? Price starts inside of the smaller one. Now, when you go to lower time frame, you see a smaller order block inside of the big one. And this way, it will help you reduce your risk of. You see there's small order block there that price starts from. So this order block, this minor order block here, this is what you'll be using, right? It's all mitigated. Then price starts into it and then made the move to the upside, right? So you'll be looking at that order block at that point. You'll be looking at the other block at that point, right? That will be your focus. That other block at that point. So we have several of them, right? So let's look at this minor one. Minor one, right? So we also heard about this thing. Okay, this one is just a confirmation entry. Let's say you don't want to enter from here, you have to wait for price to mitigate this zone, then provide you with a new POI before you buy again. Right? This is just a confirmation entry. You can actually extend this SL in case of price may drop and mitigate this one. So you can just choose both of them, right? Or just extend your SL to go below this one. So that when price comes inside of it and mitigates that zone, you won't be caught. Yeah, so this is just something minor and sweet about other blocks you just did there. So let's look out for more complex ones. Okay, I said something, refining other blocks using gambles, refining other blocks using fixed volume profile, and one other thing. Now, I won't be looking at those things here. There are some, it doesn't actually matter. Yeah. While I was backtesting something, I found out that it's actually not useful. The current trend now, if I'm to place a gambles here, all this thing will be missed entry. So why should we be doing something that doesn't work anymore? The charts, everything, every day of the time, right? The algorithm of the charts changes, everything changes. Now, if I'm to place these gambles and I'm using 50% of the other block, you see that will be a missed entry, right? 50% of this other block will be a missed entry. The 50% is that line. So let's say I'm using this 50% after we broke structure. Remember, this is a change of character, right? Price sold down from this other block, came back. If I'm to use 50%, here will be a missed entry. So to show you that refining other blocks at this point, it's actually not gonna work. Refining it this way, right? It will be quite bad and risky. So it doesn't go well. But then if we had used this other block fully, you see that this is a nice trade that just got executed. A pretty nice one. And your take profit target will be here. I had this trade on. Yeah, I made this setup. I made this setup. Was it yesterday or some days ago? Yeah, that was actually my birthday. So this is the kind of setup we should be looking at for. So you now using 50% of this other block, it won't work, and your take profit targets will be this low. This low here, because there is an FVG below that price came to fill. So this is it for this one, right? This is it for this one. Yeah. So something I actually want to say that is important is this. If you are refining other blocks, right, actually be careful about how you are refining these other blocks, because most of the times you're gonna have missed entries, which is so bad. Yeah. Okay, now after we had this one, we broke structure again, right? As we broke structure here, here became Obama made this trade, right? Here became another supply zone, right? We broke structure, here becomes a valid supply zone. And now let's say you're taking 50% of this supply zone. 50%, let's use the gambles to measure well. If you're using 50%, I think you have a missed entry too. So you could see you also have a missed entry if you are using 50%. So right now, the other blocks that are forming doesn't favor gambles and fixed volume profile. When they start favoring them, then maybe then we might have gone far. It doesn't matter. What matters is you are using something that is working. So when they start working, then I will hold a section on them. It's actually very, very simple, but I don't want to teach them now since they are not working. So you won't go and learn things that aren't working at this moment. So if you are refining this other block, you will miss this trade, right? You would miss this trade. There is a confirmation entry. You would miss that trade entirely. You will miss it. If you had refined that entry, you miss the trade, right? Now let's look out for further other blocks that formed. Here we have this other block. We have this other block. You will see it well in 30 minutes. And if I'm to refine, I actually refined this thing and I missed that trade. I was waiting for confirmation entry using this other block and I missed. So you could see that. Let me go to 30 minutes time frame. Sorry. Okay, you've seen the other block clearly now. You've seen the other block. So this is actually a nice block to sell from, right? You've seen this one here too. You've seen this one clearly, more clearly now, right? This is that we broke structure, mitigated here, right? We broke structure again. Take a look at the structures that were broken before we sold, right? We broke structure again. This one became a valid supply zone and we placed our short again. That is, if you missed this first entry, if you missed this first entry and second entry, you also had a third entry for you. You can place your SL above this week to avoid being sniped out. So you also had another entry, another chance to enter the market from this point, right? From this point, putting your SL below, slightly below here, and that is the thing that you had here, right? So we say refining trades are actually bad. Like refining trades are pretty bad for something like this. Very, very bad. Very bad. Like so refining this thing. Refining other blogs are pretty bad. So now let's save this image because I'll be sending it to the group for you. I'll be sending it to the group for you. Copy. Okay, that will make me to upload this Telegram channel. I use my Telegram to save so let's look out for some other things in the chat, some other things. So just simply know that refining other blocks is actually unhealthy, right? Now let's look out for this small structure that formed there. Here now, remember once we broke structure, okay, I'll be treating supply and demand zones next. We broke this structure, we broke this low, right? And this became a valid supply to sell from. A valid supply to sell from. Now, if you are trying to sell from here, right, you may see this thing as a very, very big SL, right? A very, very big SL because it's too big, even if it's something, but then you may see it as a big one. Instead of refining them, maybe just cutting them from your heads, you can just go to 30 minutes, sorry, 15 minutes time frame, go to a lower time frame, lower than this current time frame. And you may actually see a nicer POI to sell from, right? You see a nicer other block to sell from. And we had a nicer one here, this other block here, like a shooting star, right? Yeah, you can use that to sell from. And then you have a pretty nice sell. Yeah, so I'm going to make this video a very, very short one, like a very short one, because I actually don't support refining other blocks. Yeah, I actually don't support them unless you just want to minimize your loss, but then they are not pretty nice. It's not actually nice. You have a whole lot of missed entries. I'm talking from experience. You have a whole lot of missed entries. Okay, this is another block here, this week here. Right, it's actually another block. Remember, these are your low. You break this low, it becomes valid. This one swept liquidity too. Liquidity got taken out here, so liquidity got taken out here, more of like a change of character formation, right? Then price came back, sold from here. We broke this low again. Price came back, and all these things are inducements. You haven't known of inducement. Price came here, mitigated and sold again, right? And sold again from this point. So I'll be ending this section like real soon, very, very soon. And yeah, I've been seeing most of you guys work. They are really, really nice. Really, really nice work. Like nice work. Some person that spams my DM, and some others are not working at all. So it's something crazy. So for those of you that have been practicing real hard, the results there it's coming. I don't want to rush anybody because I took my time to learn trading, and it was one of the best thing I did. Actually settling very slowly and learning here. So speed, speed doesn't equate mastery. Being fast in teaching, being fast in learning anything doesn't mean you're gonna master the charts well. Yeah, so speed doesn't equate mastery, not at all. So I'll be ending this section and I'll be sending you guys this video, this short video, to see a little markup I made, on BTC. A very little markup I made on BTC. Yeah, so very short one. Okay, this is actually an FVG. Price left here mitigated, right? I think price was from this FVG, and that was how we rallied up to the upside. Guys, if I'm not really mistaken. And we had our, so you can see the thing, the price is coming from here, right? So everything here it's actually nice. Refining entries, not really cool either. Yeah, it's nice, but then not really cool. I'll be sending you guys some image, maybe later on, some image and some things about refining entries, maybe some pictures there on how you can actually refine them effectively. Let's say in the case of having a big order block from higher time frame, let's say higher time frame POI had a very big order block, that you can refine that order block and get a better entry, right? So this is a confirmation entry. I mean this one here. Let's say you don't enter with that, you can choose this into one and see how your, remember it swept liquidity. So and you had your impulsive move, maybe you can just target this high as your TP and that'll be 1:10. So everything there is actually simplified, quite simplified for you. Yeah, so that is it for it. Yeah, I'll be ending this here. So you all should backtest everything I've taught you on other blogs, and for those of you that have been sending me your works, yeah, they are all nice. Like I've been rating them all. So keep practicing and keep working and getting better. Yeah, yeah. So good night, guys.